Good day, I'm Tam, and I'm the creator of Live to Inspire movement, and we are here with Una Plática.
Una Plática.
Una Plática.
Es una plática.
Say plática.
Una Plática. Una Plática.
Who inspired me to become an artist? Well, I think it's always been something inside of me, myself. Just being a creative of many different things. Always liking to try different kinds of art ways and just looking at different artists. I've never really had one artist that I specifically liked. I always tried to find my inner style in my way. I've evolved, since I was in first grade. I remember I used to make paper boats, and my mom would tell me that I would collect these pieces of paper and I'd make these boats, 3D. And then it evolved to painting and acting and dancing and singing, and back again then I went to graphic design and I got into doing graphics. And so I do a lot of graphic stuff, which is websites and logos. I love doing logos. And now my creative way is to inspire others through my creativity and leading that with meditation and breath work to become a stronger creative and to be more confident as a creator. So my culture, I think, is less American. I grew up knowing that I had Indian and I have Mexican American, but I also feel Filipino, and the last name with Filipino, Lopez. And then also to my mom, she doesn't know who her father is. So, and she's white. She looks white. My brothers and sisters, I'm the only one that looks darker. So it's really, a mix and just really American, kind of a feel, And so that's just me in a nutshell. Yeah, funny to say, I'm not strong in what I was brought up in Catholic, but I do really feel strongly with Jesus' story. I think he's an awesome guy, and I think he's a great role model for all of us to just lead with love, compassion, empathy, and help others. And so Jesus is, he's one of my superheroes. Most definitely, because in order for these new generations to come up, we need the culture there for certain people who are seeking who are they, where do they come from. And when there's organizations like this, it opens up their imagination and their possibility to find who their greater selves are through programs like this. Yeah, the Dia de los Muertos was really cool. I did it a couple of years ago and brought my altar also to the mix. And just seeing different people with their lives from, their past or their parents, or honoring their grandparents, and to think about that and to know and to study. I'm sure a lot of the people who showed their different altars, they did some study in the background of their grandparents and ancestors. And so that's really cool to see that culture and to see how people really dive into that and find inspiration through that. So the impact, which is the inspiration I like to lead, is to inspire not only yourself, but to inspire others like a ripple, through the waves of water. Because, once we uplift and rise each other, the world can be a better, peaceful place. And so that's what I'd like to lead, to just inspire and to keep yourself fueled and motivated, you know. And so how do you do that, right? I mean, that's why I do what I do. I studied that. I studied like, how do I keep myself fueled and inspired, so that way my energy is protected, my energy is regained in order to give to others. I'm inspired by pushing the limits and getting out of boundary spaces and just really looking to see, like, who am I? Like I said, you know, I like to go to different galleries. I like to walk into spaces like this where there's culture, and then I like to walk into places where it's free and you don't know what you're going to see, you know? And so that's what I gain my inspiration, is by other people and other people's stories too. They really inspire me and fuel me, because I'm like, if they can do it, surely I can too. I'd say if you want to turn art into your profession, then get ready to dive into discovering who you are and what is your value. And to remember the goal. Because yes, you have to work the 9 to 5. You do at a certain point. Save that money, stick at that goal, and once you have enough money to move to the next level, to the next level, to the next level, you know, and work on your art during that the whole time of that momentum, and through that journey, work on your art, because there's probably a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff I wanted to do and be. You know, but I struggled with trying to put my art first and then trying to help others, you know, and I left myself out. So really dive back into yourself, give yourself fully. So that way, when people are like telling you like no, or saying your art could be better, or saying your art is awesome, that you can move through those emotions easily and effortlessly, because you want to be in a flow state to create. And the abundance of money coming in from that will come in through. But remember, what is your goal? Work the 9 to 5, just get through it, you know, or focus on like, what is that career you want to get in order to keep your art as a cool thing too. Sometimes, you know, creating art can be, you know, it could be fun, but then it could be a lot of work. So, you know, what is that balance for you? I say first, start with yourself. So the colors, I love bright colors, you know, and I like abstract kind of feel. I like eye-catching stuff, especially for the youth, for them to like engage with it. And finding the hero in you was something that I've, you know, through my journey of trying to find like, who am I and what is that hero that I want to lead for others. And knowing that there was a book, and also too that somebody wrote, you know, about finding how to become that hero. You know, so I played with a lot of these words and a lot of these thoughts, and so that's where this is my style of like what I like to create. And this one I created it during COVID. You know, this one specifically because unity is strength. When we come together, like, we can heal and we can make moves. And so again, you know, the bright colors, the abstract feel. I like making an impact with words, you know, for people to be able to stop and something quick, noticeable, to make a change within them. So I've created these inspirational stickers, and they're all different styles and different sayings. Like, confidence is gained when changes are made. Because, yeah, like, once you make a change, you feel more confident, you know. And so that's why I created this one. And then love the journey through the process, because there's a journey through, you know, everybody. And like, you got to enjoy that process, you know, because life is really short, you know, and can be long at the same time. So what is that process for you? High on life. High on life is what I walk with, like meditation and breath work. You know, this is a natural high that you can get, and it comes within your body. So this is my workshops that I lead. Inspired by life. Because once we're inspired by life, life feels awesome. Life feels simple. life feels bliss and like a breeze. And then vibe with me. Because, like, you know, when your vibration is high and you're in flow state, other people will be attracted to that. And how do you protect that? And how do you become that and embody that? And this is one of my silly ones.